saying?
I would assume. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that, but I would assume your father's untimely passing had something to do with just the tunnel vision you have right now. Am I incorrect in saying that?
Repeat that again.
Your father's untimely passing probably kicked you into a different gear. You said you were already coming to that mindset, but when that happened, I'm sure a different burden was placed on your shoulders.
Nah, not a different burden. I feel like just more. I feel like I just put more pressure on myself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh shit, like, you know, that's the man. That's the man in the house. That's the man of the family. You know what I'm saying? That, so me, that's the realest dude out. That was the realest dude out there. Still is. You know what I'm saying? And I was that guy. So it's like, oh shit, like. Mm-hmm. Who's it on now? Mm-hmm. Like who's the rest of the family gonna look up to now? Like, or like the rest of my peers, or who am I gonna look up to? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when I looked down and and my dad, wasn't moving, like, you know what I'm saying, I went to the morgue and I saw him, I was like, it's on me. And then I was like, all right, I gotta keep this shit going. Like, when like that's why I say I gotta keep this shit going. And then everything what Nipsey Hussle says, and like Dave East and like all these rappers and people say, like, it's on, like, the marathon continues. Like, I gotta carry this shit on. And my dad told me that. And I was like, all right, time for me to carry on what my dad told me. I gotta step up. And, no more bullshit, no more games. Like, it's like I just said, it's on me. Mm-hmm. So let's go. Let's rock.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to your dad?
Well, his past caught up to him. And that's why he told me the things he did. And that's why I'm the way I am. And that's when people ask me, oh, why you don't do this and that? Da, da, da. It's because, you know what I'm saying?
Specify what that is.
I'm not going to go into too much detail. My dad was just, you know what I'm saying, something bad in his past caught up to him.
Yeah.
I kind of feel weird shit. Like, I don't want to put too much
out there.
Of his business out there. Mm-hmm. But he had like so long story short, my dad was healthy and whatnot. So then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I got to get these tests. This is senior. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. He's like, yo, I got to fast. I got to check on my liver. And I don't know what's called, endoscopy, whatever the case may be, whatever it's called.
Endoscopy.
Yeah. So you have to fast. And he was doing all this thing. He's like, all right, I got to take these pills. He was on medication. And my dad, bro, never went to the hospital for all my life or nothing like this. Had no procedures. So it's like, it's something different. When you see a healthy man, you know what I'm saying, always takes care of himself. Then he goes to the hospital, has this, whatever you got to do. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So I know it's like my dad just started changing a bit, like losing weight. Just wasn't as active as he was before. And then he told me what he had, so he just had to take care of it. And that's why the medication and all that. But the medication obviously wasn't working because it was like months was flying by and my dad wasn't getting any better with this medication, with the condition that he was diagnosed with. So it's like, all right, like, I can see that you're not getting better, but the doctor keeps on giving you this medication that's supposedly supposed to help you out. Yeah. And like as men, we're kind of stubborn into certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I'm gonna toughen it out.
Very stubborn.
Yeah.
It actually scares me sometimes of how stubborn I am when it comes to my health.
Exactly. And bro, it's from January and he's not getting better, and it's already like in May. So, damn, like we're going back memory lane. So. Oh, hold on.
Take your time, bro.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, he just got very unhealthy. Then when I saw him, I used to see him every day. He used to pick me up and we used to talk every day. We used to see each other every day. So I didn't see him for a full month. So when I saw him, he got like really skinny, you know what I'm saying? Eyes were yellow. I was like, I got scared, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, you need to go to the hospital like now. And he took my advice. He always respected my advice. And that goes... I want to tell people this, like, no matter the age, you got to give respect and, like, make sure you listen to people. Like, people be like, oh, I'm older than you, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, my dad, even when I was a youngin', like, he respected my opinion and he valued it,
And you can see that in your personality. You feel like your word matters. Me and Malcolm were talking about a book last week called The 4 Agreements. And I feel like what your dad did by showing you the respect as a man from a young age prepared you to be a man because you already had that agreement that I'm a man. My word matters. I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And some people, their parents probably shit on them like, shut the fuck up. Don't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're 25
And they
and facing the real world and they feel like their word doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And they don't stand up for themselves and they don't speak.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
But going back to the story, I told him go to the hospital. He was in the hospital for a week. It was already too late. The medication obviously was working. It was stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, and then he was a week in the hospital. It was rough those days. You know what I'm saying? No one knew what I was going through in high school. No one knew.
No, I didn't know.
What grade?
This was my senior year. We're about to graduate.
And that's supposed to be your best year, and you're dealing with a lot.
Yeah, like I told you, like my dad was with me all the time. So you go from seeing him all the time to less and less seeing him, and then a full month not seeing him. Imagine you see someone every day, then you see him for a full month because they're like, yo, I'm just tired.
Couldn't imagine.
And then he called, and then my mom's like, you need to go see your pops. And I was like, all right. And the funny thing is that when I scheduled the date, and we went to go do laundry. So when I scheduled the date to do laundry, when we scheduled the date, right after school, I went to the gym. I forgot. So yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with you, you monster?
I went to the gym and I forgot. And he calls me like, yo, where you at? And I'm like, oh shit, all right. So after my second set, I just left the gym. I was like, all right, I gotta be there. That's my dad. I gotta go.
Absolutely.
So I ran to his crib. Then I saw him. I got mad scared because it's like, a healthy, like it's like you see Malcolm right now, nice built and fit, and then you see him like probably like how much you weigh right now?
190.
So you see him like 130.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary, you know what I'm saying? Like his eyes color change, all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looks completely different. And that's why I saw my dad. And we did laundry. We had a talk to help him with laundry. And that was it. I saw him in the hospital. They said he had pancreatic stage 4 cancer, like I said. And he was a weekend. And then he went to hospice. Like he couldn't. There was an option to do surgery, but if he did surgery, his body was weak.
Yeah.
And they said, nah, I'm not gonna have him like die on the operation table and whatnot. So then he went to hospice, and then I thought about staying with him in the bed. You know what I'm saying? I thought because it was only one day he was in the hospice, bro. So I thought about staying with him overnight, and then I was like, all right, Dad, I'll see you tomorrow. But when I left the hospice, when I left him, I felt weird. Like my dad wasn't saying much. I just felt strange. I had this strange feeling inside me. I was like, all right, nah, something's off. So I was like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. But when I left, I felt mad uncomfortable when I left the hospice. And then my mom woke me up, you know what I'm saying, early that morning, like, and I was like, oh shit. And then I went to go pick up my yearbook that same day, and I left. But then he died at like 4 a.m. later that day, the next day.
How did that affect you when you heard that news? I'm guessing you were kind of expecting it, so it probably didn't hit as hard, or did it hit?
No, I didn't expect it, but I expected it because, like I said, when I left the hospice, I felt off. You know what I'm saying? I had that, like I said, energy don't lie, and I talk about this. Energy don't lie. So when I left, I was like, "See you tomorrow," and he didn't really say much. He couldn't really say much. He was just in pain and whatnot. And he wasn't talking like that because he couldn't breathe like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So. Then when I woke up, I was like, just like that pause, you had that pause, and I was just in a whole different phase at that point. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't believe it. I was like, my everything, my father, I thought my dad was gonna live with me to not forever, but for a long time. I thought if he would have died, it would have been natural causes.
Yeah,
because you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
My dad had more life to him. You know what I'm saying? He was young. You know what I'm saying? He had more life. It was just like, I didn't expect it to go down like that. I always thought back in my head, as weird as it sounds, that my dad was going to die of natural causes and that I was going to be the one wiping his ass in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And shit like that.
Absolutely.
So when it happened like that, I was like, oh, shit. I ran. I went outside. I got on my knees. I looked to the sky. I prayed. As soon as, my mom woke me up, and I was just like speechless. You know what I'm saying? As I'm like frozen. And I went to go pick up my yearbook, and I saw Glover. I was crying. He hugged me real quick. I got my yearbook, and I left, and I went straight to the morgue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then as I'm going through my yearbook, I see my dad.
Really?
Yeah. As I'm going through the yearbook, I see a picture of my dad in there. And it was spooky shit. Spooky shit.
That was fucking heartbreaking. Was that the first close loss you've experienced in your life?
That was the first L. I call that L. That was the first major L in my life. And then from then on, life just got, it was weird because after my dad's death in 2015, life got really strange. A lot, like all these traumatic experiences started happening. All like the roller coaster of life started happening. You know what I'm saying? People in my family started dying. All these, like a lot of negativity in the world started happening. And then like, look at where we at now. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of weird shit was going on after my dad passed.
That shit probably calloused the fuck out of you though. Like all those experiences back to back.
Yeah, because it didn't stop after 2015.
It didn't stop.
I think it didn't stop. And it's still going. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stop.
I mean,
I feel like life got like, I don't know, a lot of life events happened after my dad's death. It's weird, bro. Like, bro, what we going through, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, no, and then my college experience and all that stuff, like, it just got real after he passed. And it wasn't happening like that before. Like, you know, I was going through my mini phases, but my dad was there and it would, like, kind of balance things out. Yeah. And we'll have our talks. But then, like, when he left and, like, all this negativity and all this bullshit started happening in my life and just in life in general in this world, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? But yeah, that's kind of the story of the story is long. Like I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So how are you turning that into a positive?
Like what I went through in my past?
Yes,
and everything else.
Everything. How are you turning that into 10 years, 20 years from now? Big E is who he is, and I'm sure,
and who he will be.
Yeah, who he will be because of what happened.
I just know that. You know, yeah, my dad's not here physically, but I know spiritually he's always going to be there and watching over me. Nice. And I know, you know what I'm saying, I just got to keep a positive outlook. Like, I'm living, I had a father for 17 and a half years. Like, I'm blessed. I had an amazing figure in my life. So, I'm blessed, you know what I'm saying, to be able to have such a figure in my life. And he's just going to live through me. Like, he lives through my heart. So, it's like, yeah, he's not here, but he's here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying him. So when you look at me, you see him. And when I'm doing what I gotta do, and when I'm handling my business, like I see him. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? When I do these goofy jokes and when I'm my shirt off, and I don't realize it, I'm like, yo, that's what my dad used to do.
That was a goofy guy?
Yeah, funny guy? Goofy guy, bro. He used to have some corny ass jokes, and I do the same shit.
Let's hear one.
I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How many eggs does it take to fill a basket?
Just like how I fuck around with y'all, or like, you know, have those goofy chats, or like, you know, a little sarcasm here and there, or like, you know what I'm saying, cut ass. The same shit my dad used to do. And we used to like cut ass on each other and all that. So like when I do shit like that, it just reminds me of my dad, and I see him. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy how much young men become like their fathers. And honestly, they don't even have to be around their fathers that much. I mean, you had a close relationship with your dad.
Yeah, it's weird, man. The little things, man. I feel like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, my dad used to do this. Oh shit, I look like my dad. Oh shit, what the you know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah.
And I'm putting all the pieces together, and what I'm doing, like my dad used to do, but I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it on another level.
Yeah.
Like I said, you gotta raise the bar.
Raise the bar. By the way, he has.
Yep. Nope.